It has been a minute since I applied to jobs using video games as experience. Ever since 2020, the job market and the pandemic soured me on the idea of doing this as a joke. But the release of Nintendo Switch Sports has awakened something in me. So we're back. And this time, we're applying to jobs using Wii Sports as experience. Launching in 2006 alongside the Nintendo Wii, Wii Sports became one of the most revolutionary games and one of the highest selling games of all time. By implementing and demonstrating motion controls superbly, Nintendo changed the world and shifted the game industry. Everyone played Wii Sports, even my grandparents played Wii Sports. If you live under a rock or you were born after 2006, Wii Sports was a pack-in game with the Nintendo Wii that contained 5 sports: baseball, bowling, tennis, golf, and boxing. Each sport used motion controls in a unique way, holding the Wii Remote with 2 hands to swing the bat in baseball, using the Wii Remote and nunchuck to imitate a boxer's 2 hands in boxing, and so on and so on. Wii Sports has been used in education. Wii Sports has been used in the medical field. Wii Sports is remarkable. There's only one way to describe this game: magical. My goal is to translate its magic into work experience. Meet Matt Me. He is our applicant today, a veteran in his field, a man looking for a new adventure in life. Using Matt was a no-brainer. Matt has become one of the most iconic Miis from Wii Sports. He is the product of many memes due to his incredible difficulty in Wii Sports boxing. It was either Matt or Abby. Nobody likes Abby. All my homies hate Abby. Get out of here, Abby. And of course, Matt's last name is Me, which I initially didn't think would work, but after a quick search, Me is a real surname found in Japan. So let's get down to the details. Matt lives on 625 Starboard Avenue in Woohoo Town, WI. Recruiters will think the WI stands for Wisconsin, but it actually stands for Woohoo Island, the island that's home to all the Wii Sports games. So it's Woohoo Town, Woohoo Island. And I nabbed the zip code 53093 from Waldo, Wisconsin, because I freaking love Where's Waldo. I created an email and got a phone number through Google Voice, which allowed me to customize the voicemail.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
Matt.
Is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
As for education, Matt attended Woohoo University and got a bachelor's degree in sport administration. Woohoo University doesn't actually exist in the Wii universe. I made it up. Fun fact, there isn't a single school mentioned in Woohoo Island's history, and now I am deeply concerned for the Mii species as a whole. The jobs Matt will be applying to are in the fields of 3 sports from Wii Sports: tennis, bowling, and boxing. The 3 most popular sports from the original game. Sorry, baseball and golf. Maybe one day I can apply to jobs using Mario Golf as experience. Starting with Matt's most well-known sport, boxing, beginning in November 2006, the North American launch of Wii Sports. Matt held the champion title in Wii Sports Boxing because he was always the final opponent in that game. He trained several newcomers in boxing. If you go to the training mode in Wii Sports Boxing, he's the one teaching you. And became universally known due to unmatched boxing skill, which is a reference to everyone making memes around Matt. With these skills, I will be applying as personal trainers and boxing instructors. Next up, bowling. This job began in July 2009 to line up with the North American release of the sequel, Wii Sports Resort. Matt mastered the optimal location and direction to score a strike. He achieved pro class in Wii Sports Bowling. And as a nice little nod to all the silly mishaps that happened when this game came out, Matt successfully avoided any fatal damage to the television during play.
Oh gosh.
These assets will shine the brightest when applying to bowling alleys. Finally, we end off with tennis, canonically Matt's worst sport. This job began in July 2014 to commemorate Wii Sports Club's release, a HD remake of the original Wii Sports, except on Nintendo's greatest console, the Wii U. Matt successfully taught several non-gamers Wii Sports tennis. Wii Sports opened the door to many people who don't normally game, such as the elderly. Matt had an intense tennis match go viral on social media. This is just one of my favorite Wii Sports clips. It's just gold. It's just so good. And finally, Matt is an excellent team player in the team games. This replaces the skill of pro class for tennis because Matt is not good at tennis. And all bad players say they're good team players, so it's just fitting. These skills will come into play when applying for tennis court and tennis assistant positions. That's our resume for Matt Me. But to really stand out from the crowd, every great resume needs an even greater cover letter. People like Abby don't write cover letters. Don't be like Abby. I wrote 3 cover letters and they were edited by my amazing friend Wonder Burrito. Each cover letter covers a sport: tennis, bowling, and boxing. Each one begins and ends with a generic opening and closing, but the middle paragraph has the most flavor. Starting with boxing, King of the Ring. That's what everyone called me when boxing in Wii Sports. Normally, when many think of boxing, they think of people mindlessly punching one another. But it's so much more than that. As the champion of boxing, I acquired essential abilities, such as overcoming adversity. Many obstacles impede us in life, and this sport has taught me how to take any issue head on. If the conflict is too difficult and knocks me down, I will always get back up and keep fighting. Never give up, no matter how intimidating the situation may be. And for bowling's cover letter, thanks to Wii Sports Resort, my bowling career began in 2009. During this time, I learned more than just the ins and outs of the craft. I also grasped the importance of patience, concentration, and confidence. Being patient and taking things slowly can crush the competition. Concentrating and finding the right angle to exceed the customer's expectations. And most importantly, believing in your mission and having the confidence to stay your lane and get that strike. These skills have transferred over and have historically kept me out of the gutter, and they would transfer flawlessly to a career at your business. And for the final cover letter, tennis. Playing tennis didn't teach me to be a better player or to be a winner in the sport. I was never the greatest tennis player, truth be told, but I was the greatest teammate. Tennis and Wii Sports Club taught me 2 very valuable lessons: kindness and teamwork. Even against all odds, when the opponent has the advantage, optimism and collaboration can bring things back to a deuce. These life skills are essential in any field, and I'm happy to have learned them on the court alongside the greatest teammates. With the resume and cover letters, I took to Indeed.com and found some jobs that would fit Matt's resume. I sent out 64 applications and waited for a response. The next day, I was greeted with a slew of messages. To be honest, I always get a tad anxious when I send these out. I'm always afraid someone will get angry with me for wasting their precious time. But it didn't happen this time, thankfully. As expected, I received a handful of generic rejection letters. That's okay. You're missing out, losers. They'll probably try hiring Abby instead. Now here comes the upsetting part for every unemployed individual out there. I received not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 7. 7 recruiters wanted to follow up in some way. One of these recruiters actually left Matt Me a voicemail.
Hello, Matt. My name is Pierre. I'm with Hanford, Connecticut. We had received your application for employment Just wanted to see, are you actually living in Stamford, Connecticut currently?
I mentioned earlier how I'm concerned for the species of Mies, but I also am really concerned for humanity. Another email I received was likely an automated one, but it got a laugh out of me. Hi Matt, your experience at Wii Sports Club could make you a good fit for my Adventure Park host opportunity. If you're interested, please submit a quick application. This message likely wasn't looked over by anyone, but imagine asking someone to apply to your job listing because of their experience in Wii Sports Club. They must be a fan of the Wii U. So am I. Now let's get into the juicy content. I received a message from Alex, who was looking for a high-energy front desk person at their boxing club. Hey Matt, I am intrigued, but do you really live in Wisconsin? That might be a pretty long commute. For context, this location was in New York. So I replied, hello, I am a skilled pilot who can commute anywhere in the States from Woohoo Island. Matt. Which is a reference to Wii Sports Resort's flying minigame. I didn't actually think I'd get a response, but they replied, could you make it in tomorrow for an interview? There are some people who commute long distance every day for their job, but flying to work every day? I'm happy to see this company is so accepting and flexible. The next chain of emails comes from Keith, who was looking for a tennis assistant pro. Hi Matt, have you ever played the actual sport of tennis at a competitive level? Or is all your experience via video games? I was a little offended when I saw this, so I responded, hello, yes, I only have experience through video games. Before you write me off, I believe my tennis skills are quality enough to transfer over to real life. Not many people can say they consistently played Wii Sports tennis for over a decade. I'm confident I could show even the most skilled tennis player a new thing or two. And as expected, they replied with a generic rejection letter. I have to say it, gamers are oppressed. The next was a company who was looking for a tennis professional. Hi Matt, I saw you apply to our position. Before we move forward, can you please confirm where you currently live? Are you looking to complete your OPT? I had zero idea what OPT meant until I hit Google up, so I ignored that part of the message and focused on my location. Hello, I live in Woohoo Town on Woohoo Island. Matt. They replied, hi Matt, we are currently looking for people that live in the US or students studying in the US that need sponsorship for their OPT after graduation. And there's that OPT again. I ignored it again and I just focused on my location. Do you not know about Woohoo Island? It is essentially the 52nd state, after Puerto Rico, in the United States. Considering how Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort sold over 116 million copies worldwide, most people in the United States would remember Woohoo Island before they remember Wyoming or Rhode Island. Sure, Woohoo Island is not a US territory, it's more of a universal territory because it's located in so many people's hearts. And then they never replied after that. Maybe I was too aggressive. But to end on a high note, and my personal favorite email comes from a camp I applied to be a tennis camp counselor. Hi Matt, huge fan of your world-renowned boxing, tennis, and bowling skills, and seriously impressed that you've managed not to damage your parents' TV. How do you do it? This is what I was looking for. I'm so happy that someone actually understood my skills and were impressed by them. I would feel confident in recommending this camp to people because they accept gamers. So with all of this, what did we learn? That a fictional character can get more legitimate responses than the average unemployed individual. Be sure to play Wii Sports. That's how you can get a job. Thanks for watching. If you're looking for more of these, I got a whole playlist of them. If you're looking for something different but still fun, I have a good little Mario Kart video you can check out here. Thanks for watching again. Check out my other content. You're beautiful.